VGC is supported by Patreon. Check out patreon.com/videogameschronicle for more podcasts, ad-free browsing, and extra content. Thank you for your support. Hello and welcome to VGC, the video game podcast, live from LA. It's SGF Day 2, 3 or 4, and we're reacting to Xbox's Game Showcase. I'm joined by the two games media Chris's. There's no more. It's Chris Scullion and Chris Dringle. How are you doing?
I'm alright, yeah, I'm
good. Happy?
Yeah.
Yeah, mixed. Scullion, happy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Good. I'm happy as well. I thought it was a good show. We're going to give our post-show reactions to Xbox's showcase. If you would like our pre-show reactions, you can check out the previous video on youtube.com/VGC, which I hope we have. For more content, patreon.com/videogameschronicle. Let's get straight into it. Your 2-sentence thoughts on the show and your VGC 5-star scale that you would give it.
I needed preparing.
I'm like Parkinson, mate. I just gave it to you.
Yeah, well, I thought it was varied, interesting, lacking blockbusters.
Oh, okay.
3.5, 4?
We don't do half stars, so 3 or 4.
I'll go with 3 because last year was like 5 and this was definitely 2 points below that.
Getting a 3-star, even though there was a new Rare logo, that's like a guaranteed 5-star for you.
It was wow. I didn't like the look of the Rare logo.
Yeah.
I think it was if it was part of an Everwild trailer, it would have been a step up for me.
Oh, don't worry about that. You're never getting that. Chris Scullion, 2-sentence thoughts and a VGC score.
It's similar. I quite liked what I saw, but none of the big guns were there. Like none of them. So
Call of Duty, the biggest gun.
For some. So yeah, probably 3 for me. Yeah, I would say.
You two are negative Nellies. I thought it was pretty good.
It was very good. I did enjoy it. The thing is, the bar Xbox have set last year was one of the best showcases anyone's ever done.
Yeah.
And to say this was like a 4 just below that, I think they've just set a very high bar.
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm in my mind, I'm comparing it to previous ones. I think if this had been a couple of years ago, when people were desperate to see anything, that would have been like a 4. But finally, it was just game after game after game.
Yeah,
it's just that based on the last couple of years, it's like people are like, okay, where was Fable? Where was Perfect Dark? Where was any of that?
If Phil came out and said next year you're going to be playing your Fable, your Forza, your whole, I think he teased Halo as well. So
Gears 3, yeah,
Gears 3,
Gears
3 confirmed. They're going to do a third Gears of War.
Finally, I'm sick of playing those two.
I did think it wasn't just missing the blockbusters from Microsoft. There was a cut. There was Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But there was also missing the blockbusters from EA and Ubisoft and a lot of that. It doesn't matter really because who knows where the next big game's going to come from. It's not necessarily those companies. But there was no Far Cry or Assassin's Creed. We used to see something like that or Battlefield or anything like that.
Yeah.
Do you say that because Ubi's not done anything? I kind of, before we did our thing the other day where we had the whole list, for about a month I was like, this is where you get your Black Flag remake since Ubi's not doing a show, but they're not here at all. I'll give them I thought it was pretty good. I would give it 4 based on Tony Hawk, Persona, Final Fantasy stuff, and also I think Clockwork Revolution looks so good. Like, I cannot wait to play that.
That looks excellent. Does Tony Hawk count if we know about it? If it's out next month?
They showed Bam Margera though. That's
that Jake. I know, but
Tony Hawk is obviously the greatest video game of all time.
I played it for an hour yesterday.
Oh, it's
so good. You should have said to me you could have got in. They had Tony Hawk themed PCs that you could play it on.
Where was this?
Just at a random hotel down
What's
the
a
road.
Tony Hawk themed PC? Just a big skateboard with a screen on it?
It was like a one of those big Omen PCs, not sponsored, but it could be, with Tony Hawk regalia on it. And the
screensaver was just his face.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw on the pinball level, he's the one that's playing the pinball that you're in the pinball machine of, and his face looks pretty scary in that.
He looked pretty scary in this as well.
He was showing his age in that presentation. They were saying
I thought Blood of the Dawnwalker looked cool. I thought it was pretty good. I know the expectations is like sky high for this stuff, and it's a symptom of them being on a really good run.
Yeah.
And it feels like every Microsoft game I review at the minute, I'm like, just add it to the queue of good stuff. Like Indie was brilliant, Doom was brilliant. So yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Let's run through more specifically what we got. I'm not going to do this in order because, frankly, who cares? First of all, Microsoft has revealed its first handheld, the ROG Xbox Ally X and the ROG Xbox Ally. Chris String's my Xbox Ally, and you've played this. How is it?
I played the X. Yeah, I played it for, you won't believe, it's 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
I know.
That's enough time to boot it up.
Played a little bit of Gears of War Reloaded. I think it may have been the first time I ever played a Gears of War game. I can't remember. And it was actually really comfortable. My brief touching of the ROG Ally before is that it's not the most comfortable machine, but it's quite nicely done with what they've done with the curves. It is like they've got an Xbox 360 controller and stretched out with a screen in the middle. Basically.
That is the most exciting thing to me. I can't remember if it was on a podcast or not, but I was complaining that my hands were cramping up on the Switch 2 after about 40 minutes because I have like ridiculously stupidly big hands. So an actual controller sized handheld, as soon as I saw that I was like, ooh, maybe.
It's a Windows handheld, but when you boot it up, it goes straight into the game stuff. There's no having to navigate Windows. Basically the Windows teams had to develop it 'cause it's not very good for tablets. These are Windows, so they've sort of redeveloped it specifically for this. It looks pretty good. I kind of want one.
Yeah,
and it's quite comfortable. It looks like an Xboxy thing, but it is ultimately a gaming, sort of a PC handheld, and it has a relatively specific audience. These things.
Yeah, Chris, is there room in your life for another one of these?
There's always room in my life for something that's Xbox branded.
Yeah,
because
true.
we all know that I love. The VGC is a big fan of Xbox
With
across
an
the board.
Xbox first publication.
Famously, I'm looking forward for it. I've been hoping for a kind of Xbox handheld for a while. I know that although this is strictly still just
Does that matter to you though?
I don't know. I don't know. Like I would have preferred something that played Xbox console games natively rather than Xbox PC games. But I don't know why.
Chris?
The difference is in your heart.
Is it?
You can feel it. You can just feel it.
Yeah.
Can you play Skate 3 on this thing? Did you ask?
I didn't ask about Skate 3.
Why are you here?
What's the point in the game business if I'm not going to ask if you can play Skate 3 on
That's
things?
a game that's about to do business, and you didn't ask about it.
I was expecting an email immediately. The game business, Skate 3 confirmed for
Well,
Xbox's new thing.
what I will say, what was really interesting is they mentioned Silksong on the trailer, but they didn't actually mention the big partnership they've got with this, which is Roblox. So in the press release, this is the first time Roblox has been. I know it's on mobile, but it's actually coming to a handheld game console. Is this the first time? And they've done it purposely, and it's like a big thing. And this is the thing that was going through my head. This is a PC gaming handheld. But does Xbox think this could be more than that? Because do they see this as a competitor to Switch? And if they've just announced a brand new handheld with one of the most popular kids games in the most popular game in the world, in Roblox in it, and in the same week, Switch 2's come out. And where was Switch 2? Where is Switch 2 this week?
I was going to ask about this. What is that all about? Because there's been like two things that have said, yep, Switch 2. One of them was Tony Hawk, but they'd previously said that already. The games that are obviously going to come to Switch 2, like Persona, all this other stuff. No
especially because Nintendo was named as a partner for Summer Game Fest, and I haven't seen...
You must see that sick trailer at Jeff's thing where it said, here you go, it's out.
I missed that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Was there one?
Yeah.
I don't remember
There was a Switch 2 trailer at Jeff's thing, wasn't there?
I only remember a Cyberpunk thing, which might be that.
That might be what I'm thinking of. The Switch 2 logo appeared and it went so.
Oh well, in that case, that was worth it.
Even the absence from that is at the fact that, and this is my theory, my expectation is that Nintendo will announce a direct at some point, and we'll start seeing some, because some of those games, okay, I'm not expecting many of them to be coming to Switch 2, but Super Meat Boy 3D feels like a Switch 2 game, audience game, and it might be they haven't had the dev kits, the games aren't ready yet, and maybe Nintendo wants to save them for their own show. I find it very strange that Microsoft's one of the most successful third-party publishers on Nintendo, mainly because of Minecraft, but they've had lots of other hits there, and apart from Tony Hawk's, they've announced nothing. They're one of the biggest publishers in the world, and they've not announced a single game yet for outside of Tony Hawk's for that platform. And I'm gonna have to assume that it's the next batch of reveals. But I'm starting to get a bit.
Here's my theory.
Here we go. We've got a Chris Scullion
Conspiracy theory. Nintendo has chosen us as its public enemy.
VGC
VGC specifically,
right, okay.
And it's decided to do everything it can to inconvenience us, which hence the Switch 2 situation.
I know where you're going with this, and I
So
totally agree.
I can confirm officially, probably, that the next Nintendo Direct will take place while we're on the aeroplane on the way home.
Correct.
So we struggle to cover it. That's almost definitely going to happen. So you heard it here first.
And maybe Phil.
When are you on the airplane?
I can't tell. I don't want to dox me.
Yeah.
Beatlemania when we get off.
It's Monday,
Edinburgh Airport will be on lockdown by the time I get over there.
Let's say we'll be inconvenienced on Tuesday, which would be a good laugh for them to be like, here we go.
Yeah.
That's Mario. That's what he says.
Yeah. You're the new voice actor, aren't you?
Yeah.
Of Princess Peach.
Here we go.
Mario, get us saved.
Mario, get your scants down, hen.
Mamma mia.
Is it Ben Starr?
It's Ben Starr.
Mamma mia.
It's a Mario.
Speaking of Ben Starr, he just won't get off the bloody television. Final Fantasy 16 available now, and Final Fantasy 7 Remake coming to Xbox 5 years later. Chris Scullion, you were running about the place, taps off. It was like when Maradona scored when he was full of the smack. You were so excited.
I kicked a crack right down the window when they announced it. That's how excited I was. No, I just like to see platform exclusives go multi-platform just in general. So that very much pumped my ads when they made that announcement.
You say that? If they put Mario on PlayStation, you'd lose your mind.
I'd set fire to this hotel.
You saw the brief Super Meat Boy.
That looks excellent.
Little fake at the beginning where they had the Mario pipe.
Oh yeah, the pipe. That looked litigious. But no, I'm up for it. I liked Super Meat Boy anyway, and that looks like it looked like Super Mario 3D World, but
The worst
as
Mario
nails.
game.
Yeah. So
The worst Mario game's Sunshine. Come on, let's play the game. here.
Nope. Second best.
We're getting a thumbs up from executive producer Andy Robinson, who's sitting in his chariot.
What is the worst Mario game? I
Super
don't think it's
Mario
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
I don't think it's Sunshine.
Of proper Mario games,
Of proper
yeah.
Mario games, Lost Levels.
Is that even a proper Mario game?
It's more of a. Do you ever tell a little story about a little game called Doki Doki Panic?
Strap in, folks. Don't make a coffee.
I'm not doing it. Come on. It's a meme. That's
It's a meme Mario, that's what he says.
It's a meme Mario.
He comes out the pipe and he goes, wow.
That's what Lost Levels is. It's a meme Mario.
Yeah.
Like in his Xbox podcast, he's probably spent more
So,
time talking about Nintendo.
Here's a question about Xbox. So the main one's called the Asus Xbox Ally X.
No, ROG. It's a ROG.
ROG.
Yeah, ROG Ally X.
Roger
But
Ally.
ROG is ROG, but still Asus that makes it.
Yeah.
So it's Asus ROG Xbox.
It's the ROG Xbox Ally.
Where's Asus coming
X.
in? Right. Regardless,
Uh-huh.
why is the
Regardless.
shittier one not called S? Sorry, the lower spec one. Not called S.
I mean, they've made it white, so that'll be...
It makes sense to call one X and one
Yeah.
S, but they've shut the bed.
Maybe they're just worried of a repeat of the consoles and everyone's buying the S and you can't get the X for hiding or tail. Speaking of, Chris Trang, how much are these going to cost? £1,000?
Boo! We were watching another presentation earlier and someone suggested $800 and all the crowd just booed them.
I think that's probably. I think you're probably looking at $800
For the
plus.
big one?
Boo.
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't. But you need to. These handhelds. There's a reason why they've only sold like 6 million or whatever.
Yeah.
Is because they appeal to the most dedicated fan who wants to play their Xbox game or their PC games in the case on the go, and they are the most lucrative players. So it's important for them to do that, and that is what. That is what I think this is aimed at. It's just there's an element of me. They keep calling it a console. They keep the partnerships they've signed for it a little bit more mainstream. I do wonder if maybe this could be finally Steam Deck as a rival. Steam Deck's like 80% of the market.
Yeah. And even then, it's a small market. Like Switch 2 must have outsold it already.
Switch 2 will have outsold. So the projections for PC handhelds up until 2028 by analysts, Switch 2 would have outsold that by end of the year. So that's but that doesn't matter. It's not the point of it.
Yeah, of course.
They didn't do what I thought they should have done and have more Persona voice actors come out and announce that Persona 4 Revive, I think it's called, Persona 4 Revival. This is a call out post. If you play this game on something that isn't a handheld, you're a fake gamer and you're not part of the team, because Persona 4 is the perfect handheld game. And when they announce that on Switch 2, let me tell you, I'll be there day one. I'll be pre-ordering the special edition. This is exciting. I think this is probably the last you hear of Persona until Persona 6, which is well on the way. But yeah, you have Persona, man, Chris?
No.
No? Why? It's good.
Sure. I've never played.
Have you not got 150 hours of spare time to play a Persona again? Yeah.
I might have some around here somewhere.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I'm told it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I read the reviews and it sounds great. I don't play many Japanese sort of RPG games outside of like
you're
Pokemon.
massively racist.
It's nothing against RPGs. It's just the Japanese bit I have a problem with.
Yeah, it's the
Finally,
people.
some balance on this podcast.
It's the people.
Yeah. He says wearing a T-shirt that says Tokyo on it.
Nintendo Tokyo, actually, not just any old Tokyo.
Okay, yeah.
The best bit in Tokyo.
A shop.
the one shop. I wonder now if all the cast members who said they weren't going to be in the Persona remake are now going to come out and said, "Fooled you, or that's because we're in Persona Revival, not a remake." Wink, wink. And everyone just tells them to piss off. Do you think they genuinely aren't going to be in it?
I think they genuinely aren't going to be in it. I think it's one of these union things. Down with the unions, as this podcast often says.
Yeah. Eat the unions, I think.
Eat the unions. I can't wait for this. I hope it comes out at a time where there's not like 50 million other games, because that's what happened with the 3 remake, and I ended up not really playing much of it. So I would like to really get into this.
Is there not a date?
I don't think so. Just a teaser trailer. It's coming to Game Pass though. That's they've got an ongoing deal, I think, because they put Golden in Game Pass. They put Persona 3 in Game Pass. Here's your lock of the week. Persona 6 will be announced at an Xbox affiliated show, and it will be on an Xbox. There you go. You can't get that kind of insight on the game business.
No,
just sometime in the future.
I will argue that Xbox is now the strongest third party. It's interesting. It used to be like Xbox's like showcase direct was like the rival to the PlayStation one, the rival to the Nintendo one. But now it's actually the rival to the Summer Game Fest one. Because I know you liked it, and I clearly have different tastes in games, but I actually thought that was a stronger PlayStation showcase than the actual PlayStation showcase.
Well, that's wrong, but I understand your point.
I get your point. Yeah.
Was there more PlayStation games at this than there was at the PlayStation showcase? That's the question.
I think that's there's a lot of PS5 logos.
Yeah.
I do like the fact they've done that. There was a time when it was always the game. You know, when they used to put a third party game like Call of Duty or Battlefield or whatever, and they would put the logo of whose press conference it was, but they wouldn't put the logos.
PlayStation still does that, doesn't it? Like during the state of play, it's like you go on PlayStation. This is a little peek behind the curtain when we're covering these things. When a game gets announced during the state of play, we jump on the YouTube channel to see if the trailer's up, and if it's on PlayStation's own YouTube channel, it'll just have the PlayStation logo on it. They'll have like a PlayStation version of that trailer sometimes, and it's really frustrating when you're covering it, because you're covering the news and you're saying it's been confirmed for PlayStation, and then you have to go hunting to see if the publisher is actually subsequently confirmed it on Xbox and PC and everything else.
The Xbox social team are usually quite good about doing a wee post being like, "It's also coming to us," which is basically everything.
But I noticed they did it in all the trailers here, but actually on the Xbox Wire, it lists Xbox platforms. Underneath it says, "Go to the publisher website for more information about which platform."
Very sneaky.
And also the PS5 logo was like smaller and in the corner, like a different font.
With a big Ghostbusters logo over it.
They should make it really opaque so that you can barely see it. It's like it's
a watermark.
Don't worry about it. There's like a 5-minute trailer for Clockwork Revolution. If you watch anything for this conference, I'm telling you to go and watch that, because saying it gave me Bioshock vibes is probably cheap, but I think that will be, first of all, out before Judas, but also potentially be a better Bioshock game than Judas looks. This one looks like a real topper. It reminded me of, what was the name of that game? We Happy Few. Remember when
only good?
Yeah, exactly. When We Happy Few, the trailer came out, everyone was like, "Oh, they're making a Bioshock game in Blighty. This is going to be amazing." Then it came out and it was some fucking survival pish, and this looks like it's going to actually deliver. So
quite a lot of effing and jeffing in it though, for my sensibilities.
Well, it said rating pending to M at the start, so you can't be complaining about not effing and jeffing.
There's no need to pend it. It's pretty clearly an M-rated game with all that, you fucking mug.
Yeah.
That was all the way through it.
This is a Rated D for Everyone podcast, so thanks for that.
Shit, sorry.
That's just taken off YouTube immediately.
For fuck's sake, Chris.
Well, that's me fucked.
Xbox's Insomniac, Obsidian, is making another game.
They're not made enough games.
Yeah. So 3 this year, Avowed, Outer Worlds, and Grounded. Where's Fallout New Vegas 2? That's all I'm saying.
Well, they you notice there's a lot of the. There was my brain, and this is because I'm a heathen. I was saying the Outer Worlds 2. Why have you just not called this Fallout? Just accept that it's Fallout.
Yeah, like I do get that.
You've got
the whole world is waiting, and there's been many conversations about the fact that there is a Fallout project in the midst. And the minute that an Obsidian logo comes up and the Fallout logo comes up, people will shit their khakis. So,
but they surely. I mean, Obsidian's not that big a studio. They surely haven't got anything else.
No.
I'm not going to incriminate myself here, but I don't think a Fallout project is like on the way anytime soon. But there's certainly been conversations and whiteboards about a Fallout project at Obsidian. So maybe it's just a whiteboard that says let's do Fallout 76 too. But that was certainly the chat. But I doubt that's coming.
Is it just a
anytime
New
soon.
Vegas remake being done
Fallout
by
76 too? I'm not talking about New Vegas too.
doing a sort of virtuous?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think that's a good idea. Get it out quickly, because otherwise Fallout 5 is going to be out and we're all going to be 75 years old. So I think was Grounded big enough to get a sequel? That's my question. I thought the first game was not very good, so why is there a sequel?
It was actually one of the very rare, but in the early years of Game Pass, it was the one that really broke. When there was that time that Microsoft bought all these studios, and most of those games were on PlayStation, and they were like Psychonauts 2, and then there was like a load of rubbish ones. What was that Ninja Theory one that everyone hated? And then,
Hellblade 2?
No, it was the they remember like some weird action live service game thing.
Oh, yeah.
There was a bunch of this stuff, and my brain was going, "Why? You need Microsoft. You need some hits. Don't make those games that. We let the creators make what they want. Great, wonderful. But tell them to make as well. But then Grounded was one of those sort of experimental things. It's not a traditionally Obsidian title, but actually it did very well, and it was quite popular, and it's got that 25 million players, which is.
Is that why it's one of the first? Was it one of the first ones that came to PlayStation? Am I remembering that correctly? Was that in that bundle of the 4?
It came with Switch as well.
Yeah, where Phil sat on that chair and was like, "It's only 4 games. Doesn't mean everything's coming."
There were a few games on this that didn't have a PlayStation 5 logo on it.
Yeah,
Which surprised me. I thought everything Xbox was putting out would have a PlayStation 5 element to it, but Grounded 2 didn't. Was that on them?
I'm looking at it now. Grounded 2, I think that's because that's coming to Game Preview.
Game Preview for now,
So
which is
it'll
only
probably
Xbox.
come to PS5 when it's a real game.
Okay.
I'm going to hold my opinion on Grounded
Hold
2
your
for
water.
now, because I'm at the time of recording this, I'm about to go to Xbox, and I still don't know what I'm playing yet, but it might be that. So I don't want to say it looks like a lot of old shit, mate, and then I'll go and play it and say actually,
I
yeah,
thought
it
it
was.
looked alright. Just
It's fine. The problem is that I can say this because I checked the embargo. I'm allowed to say one line. I played a game yesterday that looks like it does Grounded but better. So that'll go up in a couple of days' time. So I don't know. Not that there only is allowed to be one Honey I Shrunk the Kids type game in existence, but I don't know.
I just think I'm always. There used to be a time when, and I'm quite glad they're doing this, where they make a game, and it's like interesting ideas. It doesn't quite click, or it's not quite there yet, and then it's the sequel that delivers it. It's like they know all the things that worked that people liked about it. They know all the things that people didn't like about it. They've got probably some things they weren't able to put into the first game because they didn't ran out of time, and that's why the sequels. You look at the amount of 2s that have just been iconic, and then then the third always becomes a bit bloated and rubbish. But
I would question the choice of The Offspring as music for that.
Come out
and play.
Yeah, I mean, get a job, good job. The Offspring are a weird band because they've got a few tunes I like, but when you listen to them for more than 5 minutes, that guy's voice goes right through me.
Yeah,
so
the guy looks like Neil Lennon. I mean, I'm very much an original prankster at heart, but you have to draw a line.
Yeah.
So I think that was it.
When we come back after this short break, we're going to talk about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. We're going to wrap up the rest of the conference, and we're going to get the VGC Massive's reaction to Xbox's conference. We'll see you in a minute. And we are back. Chris String.
Yeah.
I played 1 hour of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 yesterday. I played the new level. They had the whole game there. It was just the entire game, all the levels unlocked, all the characters.
An hour.
An hour.
So you finished it.
So if you go on patreon.com/videogameschronicle, there's a 20-minute discussion with me and Jeff Gersman about this game, and he said the first thing he thought was, we're allowed to capture this whole thing. What if I just complete it all in an hour? But he thought that'd be maybe uncouth. It's fantastic. It's exactly what you want it to be. It's perfect.
Is it the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, but with the stuff from 3 and 4 in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorted.
And also,
Bosh.
there was all this consternation and unhappiness about missing goals from 4. They're not missing. They have added them as pro goals, so you complete the first 10 and then it unlocks like a new game plus of pro goals, so there's more to do. There's actually more to do in this than there is in 1+2. So it's fantastic.
I completed 1+2 3 times on 3 different platforms.
The demo went out today. We actually got a couple of codes for the demo. Maybe we'll give them to the VGC Maniacs, who can say. But playing the Foundry as Bam Margera, I was like, this, no worries. I'm not worried at all. Because obviously the transition between Vicarious and Iron Galaxy, it was like, surely they can't fuck this. Like, surely it's too perfect to mess up. And it is actually as good as you expect it to be.
That's impressive considering that's objectively the worst level in a Tony Hawk game.
Yeah. Oh, really, Foundry? Is that what you think?
Don't like it.
We should do a podcast around the release with Mr. Tony Hawk himself, Chris String here, and we will rank all of the
Birdman.
all the levels from the first 4 games and just make it 5 hours long. Is the executive producer trying to show me something on his phone here, or not? I thought we would have input. Okay. Yes, I'm very happy with it. It's the game I want to play most in the world right now. Michelangelo from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is in it.
That got me interested.
But he looks shit.
That got me less interested.
You have kids.
I've got one kid. Let's not go overboard.
You have kid. What is the current... Is that Michelangelo what the Ninja Turtles currently look like? Is that the kind of canon Ninja Turtles? Because I wanted the big rubber suits from the films and from the Power Rangers and Space crossover.
I only got a brief glimpse of him because I was up to my balls in work, but it looks like it might have been more based on the recent movie.
Yeah.
The recent movie.
Oh, the animated one?
Yeah. But I need another look at it to properly see. But I'm a Turtles mark, so
Yeah.
you put them in anything, I'll play it.
I know Donatello does machines. What is it Michelangelo does?
Michelangelo.
Is he a real cool dude?
Michelangelo is a party dude. Raphael
okay.
is cool but crude.
Yep.
So you wouldn't actually have him at a party because he'd end up offending everyone. They'd all kick fuck at him. But Leonardo leads, obviously.
Yeah.
So he's the best.
I was always a Raphael man. Chris String, why aren't there more Xbox crossover characters in Tony Hawk? There is only Doomslayer and Revenant from Doom.
Where's Blinks the Time Sweeper?
Where is Phil Spencer? Where is Don
Where's
Matrick?
Sarah Bond?
Yeah.
Sarah Bond beat.
Where is Cameo?
Explain. Would you want this to become Super Smash Skater, where it's just all Xbox games? I think that'd be more fun than Nigel Houston. No offense, Nigel.
Where is Banjo and/or Kazooie?
The thing is Doom. It's got to have, when you put in like the Jackass characters, or even people like Jack Black who goes into it. There is obviously there's the music connection, there's the cultural connection to it, and that's why I'm sort of. Is Doom? Does Doom fit that?
I don't think so.
It's obviously got a metal element to it, but it's.
But was Doom guy not in it before? Is that the reason why he's in it?
Maybe.
I thought Doom was an unlockable character in the past.
Potentially, if someone will fact check that, but I just thought of an Activision property they could put in that would fit. Put the fucking Guitar Hero characters in it. Where's Judy Nails? Judy Nails would fit in perfectly. They're not doing anything with any of those characters.
Let's spend all our time creating avatars for characters. I didn't even remember.
You don't remember Judy Nails?
Judy Nails was like iconic.
Oh, sorry.
There was the big fat metalhead
The guy with the mullet.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a mullet. It was like
Slash.
kind of a bowl top.
In conclusion, it's fantastic. I was really happy playing it, and I didn't want it to end. Bam Margera isn't voiced. So when he falls, it doesn't go shit murder. It's just some random guy going ah.
When he falls, it goes.
Yeah. It goes Bernadette. The only thing is, because I captured it, there's footage on YouTube channel now. It had the streamer soundtrack, so it didn't have the real music. It was just like this plunky plonky kind of
Freeform jazz.
Yeah, exactly. There was no 96 Quite Better Beans. Tony Hawk, wonderful game. And this is it's not an exclusive because it was on the Patreon, but one of the goals involves Mr. Eric Sparrow, the antagonist from Tony Hawk's Underground. Come on now. That's got to be a wee fimbly bimbly. We're going to do Underground.
In like 5 years.
Yeah, well, obviously Underground would be a much more intense kind of undertaking.
Well, no, but it was. I do wonder if Tony Hawk's is like the Mario Kart of like, from Microsoft's point of view, where it's like we'll do one a generation.
Yeah, I would let Iron Galaxy do 6. Like their new levels are brilliant. You could put those new levels in a 6 and be quite happy.
I think they
with
should
it.
do 5.
That's exactly what Jeff Gershon said. Just call it 5.
Let's pretend that didn't happen.
I'm conscious of time. We're going to record on our podcast later, are we, today?
Yeah, why not?
I'm going to share my thoughts later on Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, because that is the breasts.
Yeah,
which is a good thing. I'm loving it. Absolutely love it.
Well,
but we'll get to that later.
It will take all of my power to be convinced about a Sonic game, but I'm willing and able to.
Good.
Is it on Switch too?
It will be.
Or maybe it'll finally be a good kart racer on Switch 2.
In September on everything except Switch 2, then Switch 2 is coming subsequently. But
yes.
It's confirmed.
I see. Well, I was going to get the Discordians' feedback on the Xbox press conference, but this shit laptop is no longer working, so once these two clear off, I'll do a segment straight down the barrel, reading your feedback. Anything else, gentlemen, before you go away?
No.
Feelings about Xbox? Chris, as an Xbox jacket owner, literally, how do you feel about that?
Oh no, it's fine. I mean, it was interesting that Spencer basically had to come out at the end and go, "Don't worry." Like basically, all the shit, all the shit
you like are coming.
All the shit you were hoping to see will be there next year. Promise, mate. But other than that, it was fine. It was decent.
It was definitely the best third-party publisher presentation that we've seen
ever.
I don't know, mate. Did you see the fucking dancing Iron Man at I.O.? That was pretty good.
I love a bit of European nonsense.
I think you'll find that was legally distinct.
Yeah.
No, there was a lot of stuff there that there's a lot of South of Midnight tier stuff where you look at it and go, oh, and forget about it for a while until it's ready to come out, and then you play it and go, that's actually pretty good. So I don't think there was any. There wasn't a lot of shit there.
I want to play that game that was like a musical where it was like the guy walking about. It looked like an advert for Booking.com where he was like dancing around the hotel.
I said I hate. That was one I said I hated. I don't know why I get really when the wrong way.
Yeah, the one. One with a ridiculous name. Yeah.
I suppose I'm just.
There's no ghosts in this house or something like that.
It looks a wee bit woke.
Yeah, it does look a wee bit woke, but I like woke games.
Mm.
Closing thoughts. The game business. Is the game business good or bad after that?
What's the state of the game business?
I'm going to start a new Chris String segment every week of the state of the game business.
I just don't bother.
Yeah, don't bother.
Don't bother. Get out.
Having played that handheld yesterday for 15 whole minutes, how many British pounds would you pay for it before you were like, that's enough?
I don't know. I'd probably actually pay. I'm really wealthy. I don't even think about cost of stuff. No, I probably about I don't know. I don't know actually. Would I spend 800 quid on that? Actually, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah. $699.99.
You know what? Actually, I'm not sure I get it because when you start talking about the price, I'm like, I don't even. All I'm going to play on it, and I really want it for this reason, is the HD version of Perfect Dark, right? Because then that's all I end up playing on it, and I'm like, actually, am I really spending 800 on that?
We could not create a Chris String cliche joke more than you actually bring to this podcast, and I always appreciate that. I'm going to spend 800 quid to play Sea of Thieves for 5 minutes.
As long as it's cheaper than PS5 Pro.
Bet it won't be.
I'll be on it.
It's less powerful.
I'll be on it like white on rice.
PS5 Pro $50 off right now, so if you want to play all those Xbox games in their best possible state,
it's not cheap enough.
Check that out. If you've still got any money after buying 3 PS5 Pros, check out patreon.com/videogameschronicle, but you'll find out more about that after this. Thank you to our season ticket holders, Tanner Santos, Sarah Cantoto, Shay Dougal, Matt Huggins, Martimus Prime, Ryan Cobain, official VGC historian Sam Biggs, Ginger Jotun, BN12, Mark Edmonds, and our gifters. If you gift 10 subscriptions to VGC's Patreon, patreon.com/videogameschronicle at any tier, you'll win some fabulous video games, including stuff for the Nintendo Switch 2. Our gifters so far are Kron, Sam B, Mark Edmonds, Matthew Campbell, and Lester. I'm only looking down so you can see my wonderful fish hat. Why I'm wearing a fish hat, you'll have to wait and see. But thank you, and back to the podcast. Say goodbye, Chris.
Goodbye, Chris.
Say goodbye, Chris.
Bye, Chris.
Say goodbye, Chris. And we'll see you later.